This will change everything forever. I hope. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. Unless you've been living under a rock, in which case you're a worm or a centipede and have somehow figured out how to watch YouTube videos. So honestly, good on you for that. Well done. But if you're a human, you probably heard that last week Valve had some pretty massive announcements. Super exciting stuff for reasons that we'll talk about. I spent the last few days watching every video out there on this stuff and reading every article, and I'm finally ready to break the silence. I know you've been on the edge of your seat to hear my thoughts on this stuff. They have the new Steam controller, which is sort of like if someone took the controls from the Steam Deck and just controllerified them, and a VR headset called the Steam Frame, and the Steam Machine, of course, which is their fresh attempt at taking over the gaming world, including the console market. The new stuff, along with the good old Steam Deck, is a very bold move by Valve. Valve has dominated the PC game software market ever since the dawn of Steam, and now this is their big push into the hardware market. They'll basically have an entire ecosystem now for us. The console, a headset, and a controller, and a handheld, all built to work together. I'm actually giddy with the thought of what this is going to do for our hobby. For the hardware, let's first talk about the console, because this is probably the most important but also least interesting part of the whole announcement. I say least interesting because it's just a computer. It uses a semi-custom AMD CPU and GPU. So the CPU is based on Zen 4 with 6 cores and 12 threads and a boost up to 4.8 GHz and a 30-watt TDP. So basically a Zen 4 CPU in the same ballpark as AMD's modern Ryzen laptop chips. And the GPU is RDNA 3 based with 28 compute units that runs at 110-watt TDP. We get 8 GB of VRAM, and that should land in the same ballpark as AMD's mobile 7600M XT. And we have the rest of the specs too. We get 16 GB of DDR5 RAM and 512 GB up to 2 TB of storage. We also get a high-speed microSD card slot, so you can bring your games back and forth between your Steam Deck and your Steam Machine if you want to. And even your Steam Frame. The same card works over there apparently. And we got a whole bunch of I/O, Gigabit Ethernet, DisplayPort and HDMI, 1 USB-C hole, and 4 USB-A holes. This is basically entry-level gaming laptop specs. It'll probably be just around the same ballpark of the PS5. It's not anything crazy. It's just a little SteamOS mini PC that you put under your TV, and it looks like a black cube. Oh god, the cube. It's real. So it's kind of a very solid but very boringly competent PC. Like, if this wasn't made by Valve, if some random PC company was like, hey, check out our new gaming mini PC. It's a black square and it has laptop components and it can run games fine, no one would care. But here's the thing, it is made by Valve, and that is a huge deal. The Steam Deck is basically the most common uniform gaming PC on the planet, which means that millions of people all share the same APU and RAM and OS and controller layout, and it's already warped the PC gaming landscape. Devs actually care if their game runs well on the deck, because the deck gang is a real market now. The deck is a huge reason that big AAA games aim lower than $3,000 monster gaming PCs. So the Steam Machine isn't exciting because of what it is on paper. I mean, it's just a computer. What makes it interesting is that it's a single thing made by Valve that could end up in millions of homes, maybe tens of millions if the universe is kind. That gives developers another clean baseline to target, and that could help claw back some of the bloated, unoptimized mess that modern PC gaming has turned into. The big mystery is the price. But before that, if you wouldn't mind me paying the bills, please allow for a brief word from this video's sponsor, Ugreen. Aw man, this stinks. I brought my charger, but I forgot my cable. What? I see you're amazed. Allow me to introduce the Ugreen Nexode 100-watt retractable charger. This thing is so convenient you'll forget your many failures and shortcomings. Hey, it can deliver up to 100 watts via the built-in retractable USB-C cable, which is enough juice to charge a 14-inch MacBook Pro from 0% to 54% in just 30 minutes. The cable has a pull and lock design, so you can choose exactly how long you want it. And if you didn't forget your cables like a dork, oh, come on. With 2 additional USB-C holes and 1 additional USB-A hole, there's no need to carry multiple chargers. You can just plug everything in here like a cool guy. Yeah, well, at least I have my power bank. Oh wait, Right, the cable. Might I also amaze and delight you with this Ugreen MagFlow 10,000 mAh power bank? It does 25-watt wireless charging, which can power the iPhone 17 Pro Max from 0 to 50% in 38 minutes, and it supports 30-watt PD input, and it has a built-in braided USB-C cable that also doubles as a convenient carrying strap. See? Ugreen has a big Black Friday sale coming up. Check out the links to get up to 40% off in the thingy below. Alright, fine then. I will. The reason just get a Steam Deck is still valid 3 years later is because the value is ridiculous. Valve says the Steam machine will be priced like a PC and not like a console, which narrows it down a little bit, but not much. PCs can be all sorts of prices, and there's a pretty wide range of prices in the console world. But even if they can't price it like a console, I think it will be a big success simply because it's a console-like PC that you can buy off a shelf and know what to expect. And if they nail that price-to-performance ratio, it'll be unstoppable. I genuinely think that this could be what PC gaming needs to truly go mainstream. For parents buying birthday presents for their gamer kids or console gamers who are interested in exploring what PC gaming is like. I want Just Get a Steam Machine to become a thing for normies and elevate PC gaming to the heights it deserves. And yeah, I'll stop now. I could ramble about this for another 20 minutes, so if you want a separate Steam Machine speculation video, just tell me in the comments. For now, I should probably just talk about the other hardware before my editor throws something at me. Oh right, I don't have an editor. It's just me. Oh, just shut up and do your job, you freaking monkey. Okay, that's it. Ow! VR is very cool, but it is still super niche. Only a tiny slice of gamers even touch it. I think the figures are at around 2%, and an even smaller slice actually use it regularly. I bought a Quest 2 thinking that maybe I would become a VR guy, and then after the honeymoon phase, which lasted about a week, I barely touched it. Yeah, but because of the Wi-Fi jank and the cable stuff and needing my PC every time, it was just too much friction when I wanted to play a game without futzing about, which is every single time that I play a game. So this new Steam frame honestly sounds like the thing that I wanted my Quest to be in the first place. Valve already knows this space. Steam VR is basically the way to play VR PC games. They made Half-Life Alyx, which is widely considered the best AAA VR game, and they've done this before. They made the Valve Index. The Index was apparently amazing, but it was big and bulky, and it used external base stations, and it was expensive. So enter the Steam frame. I've seen a bunch of the interviews with the engineers, and they all say that the Steam frame is made to make VR as low friction as possible. You just wake up the headset and you play your game. No cables or Wi-Fi to deal with. The headset is small and light. It has a 21.6 watt-hour battery on the back, so the weight is balanced. And you can plug it into an external battery pack that you shove in your pocket or whatever. Apparently, it feels weightless when you're wearing it. You get built-in speakers, and Valve hinted at other audio options coming. So probably some sort of integrated headphones or whatever. Inside are pancake lenses and 2160 by 2160 displays per eye, which is 4K pixel density, at up to 144 Hz. So this thing should be smooth and crispy. You cannot wear glasses inside it like a Quest, so I'm very interested in what they do for prescription inserts, because without glasses my eyeballs are 720p at best. One piece of new tech is that they have eye tracking, and they use it for foveated streaming, which means that the part you look at is rendered in full detail and your peripheral vision is lower resolution, which saves a ton of bandwidth. Valve says that this gives them about 10 times the streaming throughput, and that means that you don't need a high-speed USB-C cable or a fancy USB 4 base station. You just plug in the included Steam Frame wireless dongle into any USB 3 port, and it has enough bandwidth to feed the headset with near zero latency. And it does this over the 6 GHz wireless band, so it doesn't fight with your regular Wi-Fi. And it's not just a dumb streaming helmet. It's a full computer with 16 GB of RAM, 256 GB or 1 TB of UFS storage, and a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. The same sort of chip that lives inside expensive phones owned by people who have meetings. The bonkers part is that it's running SteamOS. SteamOS running on ARM, with Proton-style translation magic, so you can run regular PC games natively on your face computer. I can't understate how huge of a deal SteamOS on ARM is. Valve pulled this off with a new translation layer called FEX, which stands for something. It's Windows emulation for ARM. If you've messed with WinLater or GameHub, you've probably seen Box 64. FX kind of fills that same role in Valve's world. It's integrated with Proton for ARM, so x86 Windows games can run on ARM chips. Valve has been pouring work into FX for a while now, and the Steam frame is them going all in with this Windows games on ARM idea. And this might be the most exciting part of the Steam frame, because this affects everybody, even non-VR gamers. It's just like how Valve helped Proton turn Linux into a legit Windows gaming platform. Android apps like GameHub are already using FX, which is why getting your Steam games going on retro doodads suddenly feels easy and effortless. That's the FX magic at work. And now that Valve is working on it, we're going to see improvements in leaps and bounds. We still don't know what form that the ARM SteamOS build will take on the headset side. Whether it ends up as an app that we can slap on phones or handhelds, that's what I'm hoping for. Oh man, that would be so cool. Or if it's more of a lockdown thing, or maybe an open source OS that we can adapt to other devices. We'll find out soon, but either way, Valve putting in serious engineering time into FX means that everyone gets the same performance and compatibility gains, just like Proton on Linux. Personally, I have barely touched my Steam Deck since I got my PC indie game backlog running on my retro handhelds. If this stuff keeps improving, the play your PC games on anything dream could come true. Heck, it already is coming true, but it could come more true. When I consider the big picture, this feels like the future. PC games on your Steam machine, your Steam Deck, your Steam frame, your desktop PC, your 7 other PCs, your phone, your retro handheld, your smart toaster. Valve is doing God's work right now, and I am so freaking here for it. So we'll see how it does. I'm very curious to see if the Steam frame takes over and becomes a thing that people buy and use it on a regular basis. If this helps VR come into its own, it really could if the potential is there, but I don't know if it is. I think of any device that's come along, the Steam frame is the device that has the best chance. I'm excited to get one and see if it can win me over. And if it does, then I might just live in VR instead of the real world. Do you still have to fold laundry in VR? I hope not. And now onto the Steam controller. No, not that Steam controller. The Steam controller. Why did they name it the same as the old one? I don't know. I hate when things have the same name. They should have called it the Steam Pad or whatever. But I digest. So the new Steam controller. Imagine a mouse, right? Now imagine that mouse was a human. And then that human bought a Steam controller so they can play PC games on their couch. That's basically the new Steam controller. Valve tried this once before and it kind of face planted. I loved the OG Steam controller, but I don't think most people did. But they're back for round 2 and they've addressed everything that people didn't like. The first big thing is that this time it has 2 thumbsticks. Not one stick in an experimental science project of touchpads, 2 real sticks. That instantly makes it feel like a normal controller that just happens to have trackpads. The sticks use TMR tech, which is basically wizard magic that helps prevent stick drift. It's like Hall effect, but better. Less magnety. Under each stick, you get a trackpad, slightly angled so they line up nice with your thumbs. If you've used the Steam Deck, you already know the vibe. Same idea here. You can do the normal controller thing with the sticks and then you can slide your thumb onto the pad for mouse level aiming or desktop stuff. Apparently it feels just like using the pads on the deck, which is good because I love the way the Steam Deck does the mouse control. And then there's gyro. This thing has sensors that know when you're holding it. Capacitive sensors on not just the sticks, but also the triggers. And you can aim or move the cursor by gently tilting the controller. And you can set it up how you want using Steam input, just like the Steam Deck. For those that make use of gyro on the Steam Deck, you know how amazing it is. And if you don't, then you don't need to worry about it. It's also just a regular old Xbox style controller too. A very weird looking and ugly Xbox controller. I'm sorry if you like the look of this, but it's hideous to me. I never really even liked the look of the Steam Deck though, and that's one of my favorite devices ever, so looks aren't everything, but Valve definitely has a function over form approach to their product design. For connectivity, you get regular Bluetooth plus a little 2.4 gigahertz puck in the box, and that puck can hook up 4 controllers at once, and it gives you a low latency connection so your inputs feel nice and snappy. It also charges the controller. It has a magnetic connection, so you can just plug it in with a USB-C cable. Nice that we have lots of options. The big unknowns are the price and the release dates. The release date is just early 2026, so not long in the big picture, pun intended. The Steam machine price is the important factor here. It has to hit a sweet price to performance spot. If it can't match the consoles on value, it'll still probably do fine, but if it can beat them per dollar, that would really elevate it in lots of people's minds. I really hope that Valve can pull whatever strings they can to make that happen. Maybe Gabe can skip adding a third ballroom to his next super yacht. We really need them to nail this because PC gaming deserves a seat at the same table as Switches and PlayStations in the brains of normal people. Whatever happens, it's an exciting time to be a PC gamer, and that gets my juices flowing. And oh man, are they flowing so hard right now. All my juices. It's actually getting a little uncomfortable, to be honest. And on that lovely thought, let me know what you think of all this Valve Steam hardware stuff. And let me know what videos you want to see from me about it. Or maybe just click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. That's always a good choice. And that's it from me. I'm TechDweeb. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.